after this particular project, I've got 2 more Soul Seekers docs lined up, and then a different doc about something completely different. But yeah, you got Soul Seekers 2 and Soul Seekers 3 coming soon. With Soul Seekers 2, we're going to Europe. We're going to find out where European culture comes in. Did France do it like Italy, Germany, Spain, Portugal? All of these countries have their own sneaker culture, their own sneaker growth. I want to see where that comes from as well. And then for the third one, I can't really talk about it just yet, but it's going to be different. As you go into such a project and you spent so long on it and you put so much of your heart and soul and energy and life into something, you think, can I ever do this again? Is there going to be anything that's going to drive me this much? And I just remember the feeling of when I actually put the film together and I rendered it for the last time and I sat back and I was like, I've made a movie. I was like, I don't care if anyone ever likes it. I don't care if nobody sees it. I have made a film. I've made an actual credible documentary, and it's the first one in the world that's ever covered this subject from the UK's perspective. For me, that was just the biggest feeling of euphoria. And I was like, I had no idea what's going to happen next, but that was the main thing for me, just getting it done. I'd spent 4 years doing it, and I think by the 3rd year, I was like, fuck it, I'm not doing it anymore. I was going to delete the thing. I just come across so much challenges. I'm waiting 6 months to interview people. I'm calling them, and they treat me like a baby mother. They're like, yeah, I'll call you back, or yeah, what it is. And you're just like, just talk to me, dude. And you're waiting, and then you go and book locations, and you go and book crew, and they don't turn up, or you just spend so much money on things that just don't work. And then another big realization is that you spoke to a lot of guys from the 90s and 2000s. We didn't record anything. There's no photos, there's no audio, there's no video, there's no nothing. You've literally just got to make this stuff up. And I remember one of the guys in the film told me this really cool story about the boutique he owned, but he had no pictures of the boutique. And I'm like, he told me all these stories, and I'm like, do you get any pictures? He's like, I can't find them, I don't know where they are. And you're like, so I was like, what am I going to do? And in the end, I had to animate that section. So that worked. That was a way around that. And even that animator, yeah, shout out Jide, you're awful. Like, they were just the worst dude. He just took so long. He put the project back by 2 months. But in the end, it all worked out. But yeah, it teaches a lot about yourself and what you're actually willing to do and what you're actually willing to put up with as well. The 3 biggest lessons I learned from creating the Soul Seekers documentary are: 1, don't let anyone tell you no, that you can't do it. I was told by everyone, nobody will be interested. By the time the shoes come out, they'll be old. No one's going to want to know. That was 1. 2, having to rely on people who literally don't sort of believe in your vision and where you're coming from. And then 3, I think it's literally just trying to drive it by being self-financed as well. I think that was the biggest lesson out of all of it. Is that, yeah, you just got to find a way. In terms of filmmaking, I think one of the biggest things you can do is build your audience first. You literally go and talk, tweet, write about your passion, your project, your subject, because there's going to be other people out there like you, and you build your audience base and you grow it. And it doesn't have to be the biggest base, but it has to be the loyalist base. So if you basically tap into all the things that you're into, that other people are into, and you can kind of grow organically from there. And second thing is find an interesting subject matter. It doesn't have to be the latest or the hypest. It's just got to be interesting. It's got to be a story worth listening to. We've all watched documentaries on penguins or the mating habits of a, I don't know, Australian turtle or something. Because you're like, okay, it piqued your interest. It's not something you're deep into, but you just wanted to know. So therefore, that's how some people feel about trainers. And you're like, it's our love, it's our passion, but for them, it's an interesting side note. And they were like, oh, I didn't know that before. That's why there's that queue outside the store. That's why they're sold out so quickly, this, that, and the other, and all that kind of stuff. And it's just grow things from there, really. And I think the third mainly is just never give up. If you honestly believe in something and it can work, you do it to death. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work, but at least you know, and there's no self-doubt. You just have to keep going. I think the biggest advice I can give any form of creative is to actually just go out and do it. Once you've done it, and you learn from what you've done. You might go out there and have the biggest success in the world. You might go out and have the biggest failure in the world. But the point is, you have to do it. You can't just talk about it, you have to go and do it. One of my other aspirational loves is politics as well. I believe that in the UK, politics are so driven away from the normal person, they've got no interest in it, not realising it makes up so much of their lives, and they can actually affect change if they knew they could affect change. And the politicians make sure they know they can't affect change. So my next documentary is going to be on that. It's going to be basically based around politics for people, for general people.